Hi guys, I wanted to give you an update on the driveway garden, and this is the portion right up against the house. And starting here, I've planted some of those Clancy potatoes, and I've planted those about 3 or 4 other spots and conditions. Got some beautiful pansies in front of it to eventually drape down. This is the zucchini, and I've started yet another zucchini next to it, and I have got some more tomatoes. And I need to be patient and see where the tomatoes need to be filled. Would you please hush, Missy? Need to be filled throughout the garden. And again, same thing here. I've got 2. These are black crems. I love black crems. Another tomato here, which is here along with the pepper. A lot of black crems in this spot, and another pepper here, another tomato. Here we're going to have some lovely cucumbers growing up the fence eventually. And you see that I have put again grass here to get that nitrogen in the soil to act as a mulch, and it does what mulches do everywhere. It keeps the water in, keeps the weed down. This will be cucumbers. I planted that a couple days ago. This little tomato right here, ooh, I'm not so sure about it. I don't know why it's so stunted. I did find a volunteer and bring it over here. Don't know what kind that is. It just volunteered over here in this pail. And this is a 4th of July, and this is also a 4th of July tomato. And I've got some peppers in front of these, but I don't see them coming up. But peppers are really, really slow, so I have to be patient with that as well. And another tomato, not sure what that is, cilantro. Now moving on to the driveway side. Here is the second wheelbarrow, and I have it with these beautiful yellow pansies which will cascade down, and that is colossal yellow with blotch. And I have 2 rows. You can see I've got a row here and a row here of lettuce seed tape, and back behind here those Clancy potatoes again. So I have them, yes, in a pot. However, it's in a different, more shadier area, and I picked it because the foliage is really just going to blend into the trees and the surround here anyway. And then you're just going to see this cascade of beautiful yellow here. Just like you're going to eventually see this cascade of beautiful purple pansies. And somehow I got a lone one here, but it's still beautiful. And this is colossal neon violet. Honestly, doesn't really look neon to me. It looks like a beautiful saturated purple. I love them. I love pansies. Here I have got butter peas. I've got also butter peas running this way. The whole length or edge, I sort of made it an edging plant. They'll be done probably about mid-July. And all I have to do is, once they bush out, is to come here and just cut them at ground level, and everything else growing around it will not be impeded in any way. So here's the view here. I have this beautiful garden bell adornment from my stepmother Lori. Thank you so much for that. I love it. And I again have planted the Clancy potatoes here in ground, a little part shady, but they're going to be in ground. I've got some carrots starting here, and you can see they have just got their first leaves, no true leaves at all here. This space from this little white bird, except for the butter peas, I've got some grass over it. I'll blend that in. I've got all of this reserved for a second batch of corn, because here's the first batch. The other batch is out there in the $0 garden bed. I did buy an eggplant at the greenhouse. This is the Millionaire. It's the long purple one. I've never really tried this type before, so I'm looking forward to that. And again, the whole area is edged with the butter peas. And here I've got the corn that we started in the egg cartons in the house. I believe these were in the cardboard egg cartons. And I did divide them and spread them out a little bit better once the weather provided me to do so. In the middle of these, I have 5 runner beans. I cannot remember if this is Blue Lake or Kentucky Wonder or Kentucky Blue. All 3 of those are wonderful beans anyway. I do have it marked in the house because, as you can see, I can't remember. This is a Blue Beauty tomato, and it does not seem to be doing as well as I would like it to be. But we've had some very weird weather. We're in Northwest Ohio. We are in Zone 5, and that is what happens a lot for us. Sometimes things just start slow, and then they will bolt for us. Here, I have got some lettuce, some peppers also growing, and again, those beautiful pansies. And over here, some gorgeous red and white striped petunias that are in my grandmother Beatrice's probably antique old tire flower pot. Here, where everything is bare, I have put that Mary, however you pronounce it, French lettuce head. And I chose to do all of these 2 spots because it doesn't take the heat as well as the all year round does. So I'm going to go ahead and try to get as much of this in as I possibly can. And you can see it's starting to come up for me right here and right here. So that's exciting. Okay, that is the end of the driveway tour, and if you can see, this is really just a very, very narrow space here. But you can get a lot of stuff in here if you just start looking around your yard. You don't necessarily need a traditional garden space. I've got this against the house. There's 4 tomatoes, cilantro. There's going to be a cucumber there. Again, there is 3 tomatoes on this side, and I chose to do the actual large tomatoes here because you have to stand up rather than the cherry tomatoes, which they're great, but they can be tedious at picking them. Over here, I'm going to have more cucumber. Over here, I've got a zucchini, which I'm going to try and stake up because those leaves are not going to make it on this concrete. That's another consideration you need to start taking when you are planting up against concrete, the heat of it. And more potatoes. So that is a lot. Hush, little girl. Hush. That is a lot of stuff just to have right here. And it doesn't even, well, once the corn gets going, it does look like a garden. However, in the winter, you can't even tell there is even a garden here at all. Thank you so much. Love you. Please like and subscribe. That sure would be very, very sweet of you.